Hello class, welcome to another video lesson on business studies. In our discussion from the second chapter, we'll now take a new topic which is scientific management. Before getting into the topic, let us know about the person behind this concept of management, which is scientific management. The name is F.W. Taylor. F.W. Taylor, full name Frederick Winslow Taylor, born on 20th of March 1856 and he died on 21st March 1915. F.W. Taylor was an American mechanical engineer. He started his career as a small mechanic in a machine making shop in 1874, and from there on he joined Midway Steel Company in 1884 as a chief engineer, and later he rose to the position of the chief engineer in Bethlehem Steel Company in America. So for his immense contribution and for his techniques which he has proposed to the field of management, he is given the title of Father of Scientific Management. So F.W. Taylor is known as Father of Scientific Management. So he was one of the intellectual leaders of efficiency movement. He emphasized on the efficiency of workers. He has devised various techniques to bring out the efficiency of the workers, and he has played a very important role in reshaping the factory system of production. The traditional ways were given a drastic change by the outlook given by F.W. Taylor. So the contribution of Taylor may be listed as he gave a concrete shape to the theory of scientific management, and he was the first one to emphasize the importance of scientific approach in managing an enterprise instead of hit and trial method. So this is also what the scientific management is about. Some important books written by F.W. Taylor were Shop Management, Principles of Scientific Management, Piece Rate System, Notes on Belting, and there are a few more. So for his contribution, as I mentioned, the person F.W. Taylor is known as Father of Scientific Management. Now that was a brief background and career of F.W. Taylor. Now let us know in detail his main contribution to the field of management, which is termed as scientific management. Now what is scientific management? Scientific management means performing the business activities in the most scientific manner. Now here scientific means removing the traditional methods and focusing on applying those methods which are techniques, or to develop new techniques after research, analysis and judging the pros and cons, that is judging the positives and negatives of the technique or the method. So scientific management refers to systematic or scientific way and being objective and applying logical principles and techniques to various managerial functions. So he stressed on that the business activities has to be done in scientific, systematic and logical way by finding out certain techniques which will be helpful in doing the work in the best possible way. So he stresses on that there should be always one best way of doing a work, and to find out that way certain methods and techniques should be evolved through research work, analysis and judging the technique in every possible way. All this will increase the output, it will improve the quality of work and also will reduce the cost, and there will be no wastage of resources. So that is what scientific management is about. That is to apply science for each and every element of management. And at the same time, he also stressed on applying the scientific tools and methods in order to increase the efficiency and output. Yeah. He has insisted on not sticking to the traditional methods, okay, and applying the same traditional methods blindly. So Taylor has broken up the activities in a management or the human activities into smaller parts, and he stressed on that every work will be done effectively with less time and increased productivity only when the entire work is broken into smaller parts. And for doing this work, they have to be performed with standard techniques, some use of standardized tools, some standard methods, and also the people who are doing the work must be trained. They must be trained and skilled so that it will lead to increase in the output, it will improve the quality and will reduce cost and wastage. So the principles of scientific management which was given by F.W. Taylor are four. Okay, there are four principles of scientific management. So we are going to discuss those one by one. The first is science, not rule of thumb. Now what do you mean by rule of thumb? The rule of thumb means doing something just because others are doing it. That is following the traditional means, or doing something based on your will or your intuition, not giving enough reasoning or thought behind it. So or you may say doing something blindly. That is rule of thumb. So Taylor suggested that rule of thumb should be removed, because this is a traditional and outdated method, and it's based on intuition and trial and error. That is, you try something and then if it does not work, then you may give it another try. So that hit and miss technique is very wasteful. So he favored scientific inquiry, analysis and understanding to any work. For him, guesswork, intuition is a big no, because these will not be effective in the decision making process. So he insisted that the old techniques or the old rule of thumb should be given away, and everything should be taught from an experimental form, or new techniques must be developed which will make the work simpler, easier and quicker. So the techniques to be devised should be based on cause and effect relationship. It has to be scientifically, there should be some science behind it. So he approached that there must be thinking before doing a particular job, and it should not be just based on the past experience. Like these days the teaching is going through multimedia, isn't it? We are using computer softwares, webcams and all the possible multimedia tools or help to make the teaching available. But we were so used to the classroom teaching, but now as the time demands, we are giving away the rule of thumb method of teaching in a classroom and trying our best to use the multimedia and go ahead with our classes. Same way, the businesses are now promoting digital payments, isn't it? The digital payment is one of the example of science, not rule of thumb. Before, all the payments were in cash, but as the time demands it, with the improvement in internet facility, with the help of internet, the transferring money is now with the help of internet, through online payments or so many other approaches are there. The second principle of scientific management is called harmony, not discord. It's discord, D-I-S-C-O-R-D, discord. Okay, discord means dispute or not agreeing to something. Now harmony means being together or having compassion. Okay. So according to this principle, there should be complete harmony and proper understanding between the management and the workers. Like in a management, there are two groups: the work group or the workers, and the managers or the management, isn't it? So those who work in the organization, they should be working in harmony, okay? And they must develop uh, mutual give and take between them, and there should be proper understanding between them. Okay, the work group should not have a attitude towards the manager that management is not thinking about them, or they have been treated by management in a wrong way, or the management is not looking for their betterment. Okay. So the manager also on their part should not exploit the workforce. Okay. They must take the best out of their workforce, and they should always think about the workers. Okay. They should be given share in the profit. Okay. They must be given some recognition by the management, the workers, so that they will have positive feelings for each other. Yeah. So their focus should be always on increasing the profit, and management should share the increased profit with workers. So that is what the principle harmony not discord stress on. The third principle of scientific management, cooperation not individualism. This is just an extension of the second principle, that is harmony not discord. So it is more or less related to the second principle of scientific management. Now cooperation not individualism mentions that there should be constructive suggestions of workers should be adopted by the management. So the management and the workers must work in cooperation. So management should not close instead to any constructive suggestions made by employees. Any suggestions by the employees should be given a welcome by the management. Also, if there is any important decision to be taken, the workers should be taken in confidence, and they should be always rewarded for their valuable suggestions. So management should be upon the paternalistic style of management. The management should have a good feeling or thought about the workers all the time. Also, the workers should not make any unreasonable demands from the management. They should not take any undue advantage of the management. They should not go for unreasonable strikes. If they have any problem, they should discuss these problems directly with the management. On the other hand, management should also understand their problems, and they should work in cooperation. So according to Taylor, there should be an almost equal division of work and responsibility between the workers and management. So this is the principle, cooperation not individualism. And the fourth and the last principle of scientific management is development of workers to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. So this principle stresses on the efficiency of the workers, because the industrial efficiency will be supported by the workers' efficiency. So if workers are developed, or if workers are trained to their best, then the efficiency of the workers will ultimately lead to the organizational efficiency and prosperity. So when the various persons are appointed or they are chosen for any work in management, their selection should be on the basis of scientific selection, and once they have been selected, the work should be assigned to them as per their temperament and abilities, as per their qualifications, as per knowing their abilities and the capability of the candidate. So when work is assigned in this way, it will increase the productivity, and thereby, by utilizing the skills of the workers, the management can reap the best out of them. So workers once selected should not be just left like that. Time to time they must be given proper training, so that, and this training has to be in a scientific way, so that the efficiency and the potential of that worker will be improved. At the same time, there must be mental growth in the management experts. They must attend different seminars and take experience from there and knowledge from there. So employees also must be sent for training from time to time to update their knowledge. So this way, when the training and development of each and every person in the management is put focus upon, then it will lead to the greatest efficiency of the industries or of the organization. So workers' efficiency has to be supported by proper training, development and selection. So these are the 4 principles of scientific management, which was developed by F.W. Taylor.